The Lean Government Party presents The Compass of Secrets, Part 1. Two boys, Lockie and James, were on their way to their holiday house in Mandurah. Their dad pulled into the driveway and everyone settled in. Lockie and James were two brothers who sometimes got along and sometimes didn't. They liked to hang out with each other, but other times they just fought. And we don't want any of that. After they unpacked everything, Lockie and James went up to the undeveloped side of the neighbourhood where there was just sand. One time the boys were told not to go there again, but they just did now. When they were playing around, Lockie had discovered an old-fashioned box. Inside the box was a most peculiar object, in the shape of a mini compass. It was grey, with a pink centre, and there was only an icon at the top but not around the sides, showing the quarter moon. The boys decided to take it home but not reveal it to their dad. When it became private enough for the boys, when their dad went out to get fish and chips for dinner, they went into the back TV area. Lockie had a go with it. He tried twisting the needle, but it wouldn't work. James grew impatient and took the compass off Lockie. Accidentally, he pressed the needle to the right like a lever and the inside wheel spun. It stopped spinning instantly as if the wheel inside was caught. Now the top centre was showing a lightning bolt instead of the moon. No sooner had this happened than thunder was heard outside. Now James thought there might be a storm coming. Lockie said it was ridiculous. It was going to be sunny this entire weekend. Lockie clicked the needle again, and this time the compass showed a sun. Now the compass glowed gold and it burnt Lockie's hand. He dropped it, then went in to get another mitt. But they couldn't just leave it anywhere, especially the oven. But it did take a tray out, put the compass on it, then hid it in James's cupboard. After that, electricity bolts burst from the ceiling in the back TV room, along with thunder outside. Lockie told James to get out of there. It was tricky, but he made it. The lightning was blasting down like a meteor shower. It was destroying absolutely everything in the room. And then it stopped. Fluff from the couches and smoke filled the air. When Dad came home, he punished the boys and sent them to their rooms without supper, even if they explained they didn't do it. He was so angry now. The next day, Dad said he was going to see his mate who lived around the area. He was still angry about last night that he told the boys to stay put and not go anywhere. "How long will you be, Dad?" said Lockie, to which his dad replied, "Not until late this afternoon. We have a lot to catch up on. We need to do something together. This will be your last warning. Mess things up again, and you two will be grounded for 2 weeks by the time we go home." Then he left. 2 weeks? What could they possibly do that long? Nevertheless, they went back into the cupboard the compass was in. When they checked, there were burnt holes on the stacks, and they ended at the bottom where the cupboard stood. Lockie picked it up, but as he did, he squeezed it so much it opened up the back as if it were a lid. Then a little piece of folded up paper fell out. Lockie picked it up. After opening up the paper, it read, "I'd like to offer you the Compass of Secrets. Do not click the needle unless you intend to finish its consequences. They will only vanish when you reach the moon again." Now Lockie knew what they had to do, but James didn't want to get punished any further. But they had no choice. Maybe this note had explained that even the slightest damage would be restored. So when they turned the compass again, it landed on a baby. What could possibly happen now? Babies couldn't harm anyone. But wait, some babies came in, looking harmless and cute at first, to growing sharp teeth, and chased the boys into the bathroom where they locked the door. The babies sunk their teeth into the door. Lockie turned the compass until it landed on a griffin. The boys heard the babies retreat. They went into the kitchen to learn why. Some miniature griffins wreaked havoc around the kitchen. Now normally griffins don't breathe fire, but these ones did. 2 had already chased the boys back into the bathroom. James had enough and wanted to stop, but Lockie insisted on going any further, hoping there'll be a miracle when they landed on the wasp. The griffins had vanished, but the boys weren't alone in the bathroom. They heard buzzing noises behind them. They slowly turned around and noticed an army of wasps hovering above the bath. Lockie and James quickly got out, James first. The wasps beat them to the way out. The boys noticed the sharp stingers at the bottoms. How would they get rid of those wasps? Lockie had no choice but to click the needle again, and it landed on a globe that you'd see in classes or science offices. And that was probably the best thing to do, for when a real globe appeared, the wasps got attracted to it, that they darted into the globe as if it were a blob. Then the globe disappeared. To be continued next week.